What's up guys, it's Taddy here. I wanted to make a quick video about which Wildwood Ascendancy do we want to use on our spell totem builds. So initially, when we just start the game, the leveling, Warden of the Magi is the best Ascendancy just because you get this 30% increased movement speed if you have equipped boots with no socketed gems. So we just get that, it's the first 2 points we can get on the Ascendancy. So in Act 2 you can already have it, and you just don't use any gems in boots. That's pretty easy to do while leveling, and you get movement speed until the rest of the campaign. I would recommend that. And eventually, like once we get to maps already, we want to switch to Wildwood Primalist. So it's this Ascendancy, the power of this Ascendancy, that it has these 3 charm sockets. So in these sockets we can put charms that look like that. Each charm has either 1 or 2 modifiers. So of course it's better to have 2 modifiers on each charm. This is like a small part of the Ascendancies that already exist. So for example, this is part of the Juggernaut and Champion Ascendancy. In order to obtain these charms, you can just go into the League mechanic in Wildwood Forest, and they can sometimes drop from enemies, or you can purchase them from a special NPC vendor. So stacking these modifiers is going to be really useful. So this Ascendancy, in my opinion, is going to be the best. And here I made a spreadsheet with a list of the best modifiers we want to find on these charms. So I sorted them by best defenses and damage modifiers. So most of these modifiers are made for Divine Iron Stoneburst totems, because like I said in the Ball Lightning of Static totems guide, the best modifier for that is up to 12% increased cooldown recovery rates. On each charm, we want to have 3 charms with 12% cooldown recovery rates ideally for Ball Lightning totems, and so this is just the best modifier. But on other builds, namely Divine Iron Stoneburst and many others, we want these modifiers. So I sorted that. They start from the best modifier to worst modifiers. We really want to have this modifier, Totem taunts enemies for 2 seconds while being summoned. We only need 1 charm with this mod, because there's no reason to have multiple of these modifiers that don't stack with each other. And this is going to be a powerful effect. It's similar that we have on Ascendant Chieftain or Chieftain itself. So when you place a totem, enemies will immediately get taunted. And then you also will be able to place another, like, decoy totem to the side from your damaging totems. And the decoy totem will taunt enemies away from your main damaging totems. So you don't want your damaging totems to be killed because of this modifier, but they will still draw the attention of enemies immediately away from your character. So that's really powerful defensively. And then, yeah, in terms of defenses, we get a lot of other good modifiers here. Suppression, damage taken from totems instead of you. Banner skills have no reservations, so you can use the Defiance banner for free without sacrificing any mana. And yeah, so a lot of other modifiers. So yeah, the least useful, I think, out of useful modifiers is those that give resistances. Ideally, you want to have resistances on your gear. You want to be able to cap them. But if you can't, just get them on charms. And the damage modifiers, yeah, the best one, you want to have 1 Culling Strike charm. Yeah, this Culling Strike also will work for totems, so whenever totems hit an enemy that less than 10% life, they will immediately kill him, so it's really smooth. But yeah, so we only need it on 1 charm, of course, because these modifiers don't stack. And then we have a lot of other really powerful damage modifiers here. So there is another modifier that people get excited about, the one that gives Onslaught to you and your allies when you have 5 allies nearby. So I think this modifier is not going to be that useful for totems, because first we can get Onslaught consistently from the Totem Medium Cluster Jewel. It's called Sleepless Sentries, and it gives you Onslaught when you summon a totem for 4 seconds. So it's going to be less conditional than the modifier that gives Onslaught with allies nearby, because yeah, totems count as allies, but you'll have to have your totems in nearby range, which not always is the case, and yeah, so it has to be at least 5 totems. And you don't need to give totems Onslaught. Totems benefit from Onslaught on your character. So when you get Onslaught, totems will also deal like 20% extra cast speed and attack speed. Totems can't have movement speed anyway, right? So yeah, I think increased effect of Onslaught is going to be more useful than getting the Onslaught itself, because we want to get Onslaught already from Medium Totem Cluster. And yeah, so these modifier hits have 10% chance to deal 50% more area damage. So again, both Stoneburst and Divine Iron, they deal area damage. So this is a really useful modifier for those builds, but If you play other spell totem builds, like for example Ball Lightning is not an area damage, so this modifier is going to be useless for Ball Lightning. But yeah, most of the other modifiers are really nice. I didn't put another useful modifier for Fire Totem builds because I didn't really make Fire Totem guides yet. There is a mod that says you have a chance to cover unique or rare monster in ashes. So this is really useful for fire damage totem builds, like for example Flame Blast totems or Blazing Salad totems. I will leave the link to these spreadsheets in the video description, so you would be able to like copy-paste these modifiers to the trade website if you want to trade for these charms. And I hope you have a lot of fun with the league mechanic, guys. See you in the next video. Take care of your totems.